Welcome back everyone to Angela's Craft Room. Today I've got a sympathy card for you. Well, it's actually a get well soon card, but it could also be a sympathy card as well. So the stamp sets that I'm using today is Thoughts and Prayers, and it's a Stampin' Up set, and it's a 2 CD case and has some lovely sentiments for sympathy or get well, thinking of you, you're in our prayers. It is a really lovely set to have. So I thought I'd just do, I wanted to do a couple of videos just on really simple, pure and simple cards. So that a lot of ladies out there are telling me that, you know, they're just starting out in paper crafting, and this is just so easy, these next couple of cards in my videos, because it's just literally stamping and a little bit of masking, but not very much at all. So for this first one, we're going to use that lovely tree that's in the set. So just pop the card over there. So to start with, we're going to have a piece of basic black, which measures 11 inches long by 4 1/8 of an inch wide, and then scored at 5.5. And then I'm going to have a piece of, which I've already stamped down there, but a piece of white paper, and it measures 5 1/4 inches by 3 7/8 of an inch, and that is just going to go inside my card. Okay, so I'll just grab that, and for the piece inside, because I've started just using photocopy paper for my cards inside, I just put a little bit of snail. I just like to get it right in those corners so they come down. And then this is going to be going folding that way. So we're just going to place that the glue there, just pulling it off. So, and then that's the inside of your card done. So we can put that aside. Then I have it all ready. I've got a piece of Whisper White, which measures 5 1/4 inches by 3 7/8 of an inch. Now that's exactly the same as the inside piece. As you can see, I've already got masking tape, so you can, there's no rules. I like to use grid paper for those that don't know. Doesn't matter how large the grid squares are, it's just I'm lining it up so I'm getting a nice straight line. You could use sticky notes, but I use this Eclipse masking tape, which comes in a roll. You can get it off eBay, and I just cut it off as I need it, and it lasts me for ages, and it's a lot better than sticky notes. So on this, so just saying that's the way I want it. Yeah, because I want the wide piece. So we're just going to use our sponge brayer, and I'm just going to sponge up in this area, not over here. We don't want anything over here, just in this area between the two masking tapes. I'm going to do that in Smoky Slate. So when you're using your sponge brayer, you just go in one direction. Now if you didn't want to add this masking part, that's perfectly fine. You can just stamp the tree on the card but I just think it does add that little element of stepping up the card a little bit. It would be a bit more difficult doing this with sticky notes, but yeah, so if you can get yourself some, it doesn't have to be Eclipse masking tape, but if it's just, you know, it's got the long strips so that you can, and then it doesn't lift up either, so it's quite good. And those that watch my videos all the time know that this is what I use when I'm masking. So it's just a matter of getting it to the colour that you want. And we're just about nearly there. And it's really important not to do this when you're, you know, start here and just roll and lift up and come back, or you can start there and come that way. If you go like this, you're going to end up with ugly lines in your masked area. Okay, so we'll pop us smoky slate away, and we're going to pull off that masking tape, and you can see what a lovely effect that gives your card front. You could do it on shimmery white as well, because that would really show the shimmer through, which would be really nice. Now we're going to stamp the tree, so I'm going to use my Misty. So I've already got my stamp and sentiment in place, just ready. So I'm just going to pop my piece right down in that bottom hand corner, so I know that it's going to be nice and straight for me. Up a fraction. So there. So I'm just going to stamp up the tree first with Bermuda Bay, and my stamp pad is very juicy, so I'm just stamping it very lightly, and I'm just doing the tree first. And then because I'm using the Misty, the good thing about that is I can stamp it again and again until I get the coverage of the Bermuda Bay colour that I want. Whereas if you're just using an acrylic block, you only get one go at it. So I'm just going to stamp that up a third time. And then it's going to really be vibrant on that smoky slate colour as well. So I'm quite happy with that. So I will remove the tree, and now I'm just going to stamp the sentiment. And I can see I've just got a bit of ink on the corner, so I'm just going to get that off because I don't want it to transfer onto my workspace. So just stamp it down, and I'm just going to do that again. So it's a really easy card, this. You could make quite a few of them. And you don't have to use this stamp set. You can use whatever stamp set you want. You could even use a happy birthday. It's just I've been getting asked for sympathy cards lately for some reason. Quite a lot of them. So then we just take that magnet off, and that's the front of the card done. So all we've got to do now, we'll just put the Misty away over here, and I'll just give that a second to dry and just close up my Bermuda Bay. And then I'm just going to bring that over, and one of the things is knowing what colours go with what. If you can get a colour swatch, a Stampin' Up! Colour swatch, that will really help you to let you know what colours when you're just first starting out. But black and Bermuda Bay really go well together. So I'm just putting a bit of Tombow liquid glue. So this is a really good glue, because if you don't get your card directly straight, if you put it down a bit crooked, it does give you a few seconds to move it. So just look at the top. You get used to it, looking at the top and the sides all at once, really. I just don't want to get any ink from my fingers onto that white part of the card. So then I just turn it over and just give it a little rub all over, and that will help it, will help the glue to adhere to the front of your card. So you can see that's a very easy card to make. And in my next video I'm going to do the other image from this exactly the same stamp set. So that's that one. I really like that. I actually like it better than the original one, but you know, I like all the colours. So this one was Night of Navy with pumpkin pie, and this is basic black with smoky slate, and then we stamped in Bermuda Bay. And yeah, so this one was Night of Navy, this was pumpkin pie, and then we stamped in Night of Navy as well. So that, I hope that helps those ladies that are just starting out in crafting, and that's a really great way to start, just doing a little bit of masking to add some interest to your card, and then just simply stamping. So I hope you enjoyed that technique, and until next time, happy crafting!